loud people. We're loud people up here in the north. I know that.
Tommy says, Clara, you are just a tease. I love you, Tommy.
That's true, Tommy.
Oh my God. Come by anytime. We'll do, Marianne. I'll let you know, Marianne. Thank you, everybody. So what a topic today. Trish, what a controversial topic. I want to start with the same reminder. Okay. We, Amanda and myself, were resellers that taught ourselves coding. So all the other companies that you're going to hear from are coders that taught themselves resellers. So big difference. That allows us, okay, to be very strategic about delisting and relisting. And that's what we're going to share with you today. The strategy that you should have for each channel, whether it's a marketplace or maybe not a marketplace like Shopify, all right, or maybe Instagram. When should you delist or when should you release? So, Trish, what is
No,
we've been preparing for this for a while, guys. And I really I want you guys to understand, okay, that what are the biggest mistakes, the important strategies, and these are for sellers of any of the marketplaces we support. All right. So we're going to be talking about, automated delist and release tools that are hurting resellers. And we're talking about, for example, or tools that, for example, promote that they do it on a mobile, but then you're doing one listing at a time, all right? Or we're talking about tools that are violating terms of service. For example, okay, the marketplaces that have, there's 2 marketplaces that we're going to let you know that have cracked down, okay, on these automated tools, and they're relentless about it. Also, we have, sometimes tools that will break your link, okay, of an item that is listing on a marketplace and an item that is on for example, on a catalog or maybe another service, dashboard. So I want to let you know what are the problems of pros and cons on delist and relist, and when, why, and how. So Trish, what happens when we, pretty much what happens when we delist and relist, okay? Every listing has a URL, which is like a universal, well, you name it, okay? It's an address, all right? So when we do a new listing, it's going to have a fresh timestamp, and it's going to look like if almost like you did it manually. So in some marketplaces works great, and in some other marketplaces it's going to really affect you dramatically, and also it's going to make you incur on insertion fees that are unnecessary. But in other cases, relisting and delisting,
absolutely necessary.
Absolutely necessary.
Right.
So, Trish, can you tell me what are your thoughts about, for example, there is like, I heard even, I have to read even blog posts saying that that on eBay, after 30 days, okay, good till cancel, okay, it's good to release. What are your thoughts on that, please?
That's too fast for eBay, in my opinion.
Why?
It used to be that eBay's algorithm did not reward you for doing delist relist at all. They used to be when we started, when Clara and I both started a long time ago, you didn't do that. You set it and you let it go, set it and forget it, like the old commercial used to say. And that happened. It would build up repertoire. It would build up watchers. It would build up good feedback, so to speak, in the algorithm. Now that seems to have changed in the last year or so with eBay. eBay's algorithm, I think, does now at a certain point, listings will start to go stale. I do not think it is absolutely anywhere near 30 days. I don't think that is a good use of your time at the 30-day mark. And the thing about eBay and its algorithm is they're not giving us, if they told us exactly what to do, we'd all be millionaires because we would do exactly what we knew the algorithm would reward us for. We don't know the exact time frame, but I personally don't think it's worth doing before the 6-month mark on eBay.
unless that listing was born stale. So
yeah.
the only thing I'm gonna say, I think that eBay does give us tool, Trish, to understand our ranking and visibility, because we have impressions, viewers, and watchers. So my advice is for eBay, please, 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 before you decide to delist and relist and incur in additional useless fees, all right, use our update feature. All right, with the update feature of List Perfectly, you don't destroy that. Okay, you don't need to delist, you won't get a new URL. So all you're doing is updating the content, like if you were doing it natively in eBay, but you can do it in bulk in LP. All right, so
let me just say this about that, Clara. Sorry.
Yep.
You know, listen, anything can be stale. We can all make a mistake when we're listing, right?
Yes.
So if we make
a category sometimes, and you have a T-shirt on the, what is it, on I don't know, an automobile.
Yeah, exactly. We've all done it where we have just made a blatant mistake. We're not talking about those. Those could be delisted, relisted on day 2, or fixed on day 2, redone on day 2 because it was a bad listing on day 1. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a good listing that just hasn't sold yet. And for me, those listings that haven't sold yet, I don't think on eBay that you should touch them before 6 months. Now, let's use that in contrast to Mercari. Mercari blatantly says at 30 days your listing goes stale. Mercari themselves said that. So we had somebody, a Mercari exec, come to mastermind class one morning a few months ago, and he said that outright. At 30 days, your listings become stale. Yep. So when the platform tells you that, now you have the information. And now delist, relist on Mercari becomes a necessity, I think. What do you think about that, Clara?
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree. Mercari is a different platform in which they operate their algorithm in a very different, more limited way. So again, eBay for me is the platform that gives you the most tools to understand if you are in the right path. So my here is my, okay, I'm going to put this, okay, this is my pro, and this is why I was able to build List Perfectly with my own money and still have no investors, okay? So do me a favor. Do not delist, relist those items that have watchers, all right? Treasure those watchers. Send them offers before you end the listing. Worst case scenario, they say no. Okay, then you delist. But before, that should be your last strategic on the process of delist and release, an attempt before using delist, release. Okay, send an offer to those watchers. Give me a chance, all right? And let me know, hey, this is gonna end, okay? And I'm sending you an offer. So it's just, for me, that's crucial. That was my favorite thing to do, Trish.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. And the other thing, so Mercari, obviously we spoke about Mercari. We've kind of spoken about eBay.
Yeah.
Poshmark. Poshmark again is a. I think it can delist, relist, can help Poshmark. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that when we talk about delist, relist, we are talking about getting a new item number. So the platform views it as a brand new listing. This isn't a refresh. This isn't, I'm just going in and tweaking so my store thinks it's having some success or an update. We are giving this a brand new item number. So when that happens, so on Poshmark, I think you want to wait for 60 days before relisting at the least is 2 months.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And you know, Posh, we all know Posh is a sharing site more than anything. So Posh also, and it's hard to know which one you get more traction from, the delist, relist, or from the constant sharing.
Both. Social, because it's a social commerce platform, it should go hand in hand. But the thing is, with Poshmark, instead of what you have on eBay as watchers, in Poshmark are followers and likes, okay? So when you're delisting and relisting, hoping, all right, that is gonna give you the 2 weeks. I call it the 2 weeks of glory. Okay, on Poshmark, you're gonna lose those likes. So maybe you don't lose the page indexation on Google like eBay, right? Because Poshmark has a different approach on how to promote the listings or with advertising and organically on different channels, but you're gonna lose those likes. So again, you need to send, if you're not sending offers to those people that like the items, all right, before you delist release, that's not a good strategy, because you are destroying the possibility of a possible sale. Now, if you have one like on the last 3 months, well, of course, I'm going to tell you it's not worth of your effort, okay? But 5 likes and above and 1 quarter is worth of your effort to send that offer. What do you think, Trish?
Agree completely. And I also think the other thing that may be worth doing before you delist, relist is to run a sale on eBay or some kind of promotion on any of the platforms. Sometimes maybe our pricing is just a bit off. And if we brought it down or even up, I mean, we've all seen it where we go up and we sell it easier than when it was lower.
Right.
And the thing is, when you delist, relist, take the time to make sure that you comped it correctly. It hasn't sold. Look at it with a fresh eye and figure out why you don't think it's sold. Look and see if there's something that you can change, you can tweak, you can do whatever. Don't just mass delist, mass relist, and don't look at them, in my opinion.
Claire, but that's the thing, that you have other services. And again, this is about selling people things, all right? And they're promoting severely, okay, the action of delisting and relisting because they don't have an update feature, all right? And I'll be the first one to admit, okay, my delist relist it needs improvement. And that's why I'm going to give you a teaser. I just did one. You ask and we deliver. So I can't wait, guys, to tell you more about it. But one of the things I'm going to mention is that Poshmark requires, I think, okay, unless correct me, audience, if I'm wrong, but Poshmark requires 60 days, okay, before a listing can be relisted. The problem is that these other services with automated tools don't keep that in mind. Are they enforcing that religiously? And no, I don't think so, but it's a concern again that I have. It's on terms of service. You are pretty much breaking the terms of service if you're relisting on Poshmark before 60 days. Audience, correct me if I'm wrong. If something has changed, please. I would love to know. I could be wrong, all right? But as far as I knew, I didn't check on Poshmark, to be honest, this week, and I should have, all right? But I just want to keep that in mind, Trish. That is very important. All right, so we're going to go to, can you hear me, Trish? Uh-oh.
I muted myself because I was looking for the Poshmark. I am so sorry.
Nothing. Okay, we're going to, I thought I was.
You were fine. I'm like,
Trish went down again. No. Okay. You scare me, woman. All right. So let's go a little with, so we talk Depop allows sellers to refresh a listing. All right. So I would say that is a way of editing before you, if you please, before creating a brand new listing. So that can be done natively on the Depop platform. But Depop is one of those platforms as well that requires a good strategy for relisting. And according to what we understand is on our community, the trend is to do it every 2-3 months on Depop. That's the best strategy. It's it's a social commerce platform, very much like Poshmark. Tommy in Seattle. Okay, I got some feedback. Tommy, thank you so much, my love. You're right, Clara. According to Poshmark best practices, the ideal time to release an item is after 60 days of being listed. As relisting after this period will place the item in just in feed. Thank you so much. So I'm glad to hear that they call it best practices. Before was terms of service, okay? So I'm glad that they did make a change on their terms of service. Thank you so much, Tommy, okay? That's a great pro moment there. Okay, please keep that in mind. And if you need, and if in 60 days, let's say, nothing is happening, okay, make sure you tweak that title, because definitely if you have no likers on 60 days and something is wrong natively with the listing, so in this case updating or tweaking it is not going to help. Okay, just start all over.
Yeah, and I think Tommy's right. I think Tommy has a great idea in knowing what the best practices are on each platform and recognizing that each platform is different. The way that the Mercari acts is much different. The way the Mercari algorithm acts is much different than the way eBay algorithm acts. Man, Trish, spit it out. So having these and knowing that things are different and treating it differently. I run as most people know on here, I think I run a mastermind class every morning, Monday through Friday, on Listing Party. And anybody who's part of List Perfectly, you can come. We'd love to have you. It's free with your subscription. And one of the things, I spend a lot of time talking about eBay and the eBay algorithm and the eBay reports and the eBay this and the eBay that. And the reason I talk about eBay so much is because Clara hit the nail on the head a little while ago when she said eBay gives us all the info, right? The other places don't give us as much information. So with eBay, what I try to do is glean as much information as I can to that and then extrapolate it over to the other platforms that you can.
Because it's the biggest marketplace with the biggest audience, period. Mic drop.
Yes. So it's one of those things that, you want to make sure that what you're doing is helping the algorithm on that specific platform. So when somebody comes from Mercari itself, comes from Mercari Corporate and says that listings are stale at 30 days, we should listen to that. That is them telling us something about their algorithm that we need to pay attention to. And the fact that Poshmark put in its terms of service that 60-day mark, that is something that I would pay attention to, because they don't say these things willy-nilly. They're not just talking they have reasons they're saying this. Just like when what eBay doesn't say is sometimes more powerful, but we should be looking at the data and extrapolating this stuff out.
Absolutely, because otherwise, without strategy, that's why, guys, I took a while to build my new Delist Relist feature. Yes, I know. Amy, buckle up. I'm gonna tell you soon. I promise. All right. So this is why we're waiting on the Delist Relist, because we are adamant. Okay, right now the marketplaces that need it is Mercari, Depop, okay, maybe a little Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, okay, but the big marketplaces, okay, where my customers are making the big chunk of money is eBay and Poshmark and Shopify and Etsy. Oh, Etsy. Etsy is the same behavior as Poshmark, all right? Do not, okay, delist Relist unless that listing really needs that kind of help, okay? Otherwise, please don't do that, okay? You are getting yourself on a problem, a financial problem, accruing those fees that they add up fast. And it has to be a strategy with data, like Trish said. So I'm excited about that. The other thing I can say with Facebook Marketplace, they have a renew button again, but you have to do it natively. But Facebook Marketplace and Grail are two platforms, okay, that they crank down on the bots, all right, in making sure that people were not abusing the delisting and relisting, because if you overuse relist on Grail, it's flagged as spam. So that's a problem, okay? And that can also bring problems to your account, all right? So remember, Grail 3 months, all right? And then with Facebook Marketplace, sometimes you can use a renew feature. Some people don't have it. Some people have it. For some people work. For some people don't work, okay? But definitely.
So I don't really sell on Grail, Clara. So please excuse my ignorance, but Didn't you say something to me this morning that Grailed has a bump feature?
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. So Grail lets you bump the listing, okay, once, okay, which means you send it to the top of the search or when people, when buyers are searching, all right?
We definitely want to utilize that before we even think about the delist relist on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a recommend, okay? Definitely. And we just wanna, for example, the STR collective. If you're gonna be delisting and relisting, you need to understand you're gonna have probably like a 48 hours window of approval. So just keep that in mind with the STR collective, which is a company that purchased Tracy, heroin, etc.
So Carolyn said you can bump every 7 days. I think you can do it twice and then it will say it's too old after that. Okay, so it's a feature you can use twice. So that's interesting. You know, Grailed is one of those, you know, I'm a used clothing seller and I sell normal everyday clothes. I don't have a lot that would ever go on Grailed. I have to be completely honest. So it's nothing that I've ever really dove into, but we've been talking lately. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, check this out.
You can bump items for the first month every 7 days. After a month, you can only bump your items by dropping the price by 10%. Okay.
Oh, by the way, this is Grail. Okay, this is for Grail team.
Grail. Interesting. So that's the thing. You want to do whatever. So the marketplace gives you those tools. Use those tools before you start to do anything else, like take it off the platform and put it back on. Use the tools that they give you. Yes, Vestiaire will have a person check and fix every listing before it goes live on their site. So that means when you decide you want to do this, you are now then you're always going to be behind on Vestiaire. So you just want to make sure you're doing it strategically.
All right, perfect. Okay, so that was awesome. I love that we talk about all the platforms. So now, Trish, I think it's the time to talk about List Perfectly, right?
So Michelle kind of asked, are we talking about Michelle?
A lot of people. I don't know if you noticed. I start the questions. If you
I didn't see that.
I start them. So yes, to all of you that are asking about List Perfectly, new Delist Relist feature. All right, I start your questions and we're gonna start answering now. I just wanted to give an overview of the Delist. Did we forget about anything on Delist Relist strategy? Let me make sure. Anything that you want to bring up? Okay, we talk about automated tools, compliance. Let's see. Anything else, Trisha, you would like to before we move to that topic?
I just want to say that I think it's a powerful thing, but you want to make sure you're doing it within the confines of deciding what works best for each platform. I would hate to see everyone start to do it every 30 days. I do not think that would help you on eBay.
No.
Yeah.
I think I read a comment, Trish, that someone said that they did find it helpful to do it I think it was, if I didn't, I'm going to say, hey, Michelle, Pro Delist Release, just check, and 50% of my sales are over the last 30 days on eBay, Beans Tales. Okay. She's not saying she's doing every 30 days. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure, we're giving you the right information. Thank you, amazing audience.
Yeah, so, I just want you all to think of this as per platform, per marketplace, so that you are doing the decisions based on what the information that marketplace gives us and not just across the board do it. If you were going to do it across the board, I would really caution you to be conservative.
That's right.
Rather than aggressive.
All right, Marianne. Okay, Marianne from my favorite city in California. Oh, hi. All right, you ask and we deliver. So just to clarify, we are delisting and relisting directly on the platforms, then relinking to List Perfectly. Is that correct? No, that would happen if you use other services. All right, but with List Perfectly, okay, it's gonna be, I'm gonna show you actually. All right. I'm gonna show you a picture of this because I'm gonna leave the teaser. We're gonna have a Delist Relist listing party, but I want to make sure that I can explain what we have coming. All right, so here you have it. Right now, what we do is we select the listings. Let's say in this case, let's suppose I selected 42 listings in my catalog. I end the listings. All right. I copy again if I don't want to optimize, or okay, I edit the listings and then I copy and upload those listings to the platform. So what we're going to be doing is that process is no longer going to be applicable for delist and release. It's going to be combined in one button. All right. So we're going to have two phases. So you're going to need to be patient with me. Yes. Okay. I'm up front. I will still open tabs, but we're only weeks away and no longer you will have those tabs. All right. So now if you want to optimize the listings, you will use copy and end listings. And if you just want to automatically delist, release automatically, and we can do like, you know how it is with List Perfectly. We're not limited to 250 or 240 listings. We can do more. It really depends on your bandwidth. So we have people doing 500. It's the same technology that we're using for the cross posting. So you can rest assured that is very solid. So there you have it. It's going to happen everything in List Perfectly. And it's going to be one button. And I hope I answer your question, Marianne.
But, it's very exciting to me because, I, being an eBay girl, never really did delist, relist very much,
Tommy, behave. All right, Tommy, behave. I have a co-founder, okay?
Well, again, Tommy just wants us to be in trouble. Claire, with Amanda.
I know.
But for me, I never really did it very much. Yeah. I waited. I have a few listings that are 4 years old, 3 years old, and I'm looking forward to doing those immediately and to see what happens. So, and we think this will be available when, Miss Clara?
We're talking about weeks. So the new Delist Relist button is going to come next week. Okay, but you're still going to have the tab, sorry. But in weeks, poof, it's going to be like the import. And also, we're going to have a one-click import. So it's coming. I can't wait to tell you more about it. This is very important to keep the health of a strong inventory management. So,
okay. Account health, I say this every day almost. Account health, account health, account health. There is nothing more important in your eBay business specifically. The other platforms are not as rigid as eBay. But if you do it to eBay standards, you will never lose your other accounts. Account health, account health, account health. It cannot be understated. And making sure that these things happen. So when we delist and relist, right? We end something, we give you a new number and it goes back out. You can rest assured that that's happening. You need to make sure that everything's always linked and worked and is going well, because every once in a while you'll have something and you'll end up with two of them, right? There are services, I have friends who have ended up with two of the same thing.
Absolutely.
And they I love it.
So I think that Sweet Caroline. Okay, I have to do it. Okay. Okay, I had to do it. Sorry, Sweet Caroline. Okay, I had to do it. Okay, but I love your question. How will we know it's been done? I'm one of those annoying people. Me too. I feel you. Okay, that need confirmation. It quit saying that listings have been deactivated and I miss it. So don't forget that we have Issue Finder. We're the only company with that. So run your Issue Finder and you get the full report, okay, of anything that is not linked, why it's not linked, okay, what you need to do in order to relink it, okay, because there is different reasons why a listing can be unlinked, all right? So rest assured, Sweet Caroline, that Issue Finder is the tool that will keep your inventory healthy and she let us do it. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh my goodness. Baboom.
Yeah. bum, bum. Hey, you can't be from Boston and not love Sweet Caroline.
Oh, what
So
an interesting life, Trish. This is I'm very excited that we're talking about this because we've been working on this Delist Relist for quite a long time. So we want to give you the two options. For example, for Sweet Caroline, she can still do it the old way, copy, then I'm sorry, and then copy. Or for those of you that is like, no, Delist Relist, and
right.
then you can always perfectly will always give you a report with issue finder of anything that might have not cross posted correctly or relisted correctly.
Issue finder, there are a few things in List Perfectly that I find absolutely delightful as somebody who is always worried about account health, because I cannot stress how important I think account health is. And for me, issue finder is one of the things that I have found to be very helpful for me personally, and also the link feature. So, when things go wonky on eBay, I always feel like I at least have a handle on everything, or on any of the platforms really, but eBay specifically, because of issue finder. So if you are not running it, best practice, I think, depending on how many listings you have, run it once a day. If you are a smaller seller, maybe you don't have to do it once a day, but do it at least once a week. And I really think you'll get a better handle on everything. Everything will always be up to date, and you'll have less worry about these things. Yeah.
Absolutely. Tommy in Seattle says he brings a very good point. I think you're correct on this one. Trish, if you can check on the pricing. Tommy saying, but issue finder is only in Pro Plus. What about business and Pro accounts? So Tommy, that I always trickle down benefits from higher plans as soon as I can to trickle down. So rest assured, okay, that will trickle that down because we want everybody to have a healthy catalog. So you avoid duplicates, you have a good, healthy auto delist detection, and above everything, making sure that you are managing the listings in the way you need with the optimization features that we were with Susan. Hey, Susan, how are you? Where is issue finder? We'll help you, Susan, to find it. Okay, come on over, join us later. We're going to listing party. We're finishing here. Susan, come on over, join us on listing party, and we'll show you all about issue finder listing party. It takes only a minute, okay, to create the profile. You can use the same account as List Perfectly in order to gain access. And every time we finish our live here, we go to here. We're gonna go here, and we're gonna go and meet on listing party, our incredible website where all resellers meet, and we can have a more interactive session. We have True Crime and List after our session, Friday night Sip and List, Letters and Lattes, Mastermind, Jewelries with Nisha, Listing 101, you name it, okay? But definitely I invite you, Susan, to join us, please, all right?
Okay, and I just want to say that they're right. Issue Finder is only a Pro Plus feature. I just wanted to double check, and I did.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. So yes, we always trickle down benefits. Okay, so we're working on the dot. Okay, with this.
So let's just get back to the delist relist thing for a couple of minutes. So I just want to talk about marketplace specific strategies.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just kind of going to run through Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, Clara, if that's okay. And then maybe you can talk about the other ones, because I think you're more well-versed in those than I am.
Sure.
For me, I think everyone needs to stop using a one-size-fits-all approach, okay? That platforms need to be treated separately, and you need to look at them separately. So Poshmark, I think that our sharing tools, or if you share you share it on your own, whatever you do, sharing is an important part of Poshmark. And so listings can become stale just from not being shared. If you're sharing constantly and you still think after the 60 days, I think the 60-day mark, it's just starting. I would wait until after that. So I might even go to the 90-day mark with Poshmark in my own case. For Mercari, they don't have a sharing system, right? Mercari is a search-based system, and Mercari themselves has said the only way to still stay visible is to be a new listing, and that after the 30 days, you are no longer a new listing. So if you are somebody who's selling on Mercari, I think you need to do it at the 30-day mark. Get it into your best practices, go in and do whatever it is every day. Have a little list. I have a list of things that I do every day on all the platforms. And for me, Mercari is a 30-day. We got that directly from Mercari. We got that ourselves from them. And when they say something to us, I tend to believe them. So I would do it at the 30-day mark. Now, eBay's a little bit different, I think. eBay is a longer tail thing. eBay is you're indexed by Google. eBay is they have outside reach as in mean the internet in general, plus their inside reach, but your own algorithm inside eBay. And for me, I'm not even going to think about doing anything with these listings until at least 6 months. Now, if you are somebody who is trying to control the size of your store, if you are somebody who is trying to do something specific, or if you have very few items, maybe that 6 months would be lower for you than it is for me. And for me, I actually may go out to a year. But at that, either that 6 month, 9 month, or a year mark, I'm going to be ending them and relisting them from now on, because I haven't done that up till now, because I have been under the impression from eBay and from other sources that it was best to let things ride on eBay. And what amused me is a minute ago, Star said something in the comment section, and she said that she's been on this as someone who has always been on the relist train when no one else was. I was wrong. I appreciate this. And she was wrong.
Oh, I forgot, Star, you were on the Delist Relist train
Forever.
When I was like, okay, no, I'm not. When I met her, oh, Star, that means a lot. Thank you, friend. Big hug, okay? Means a lot, because it can work for certain platforms, but not for eBay, not for Etsy, all right? And I know that you're big on those platforms. This means a lot.
So for me, I think that, Star may have been right all along. Star, you may have been. But for me, before now, the algorithm, the people who are very knowledgeable, and eBay themselves really said, put it on there and leave it. And again, like I said, for me, if the algorithm or the platform is telling us something, I try to take it at face value, that they know what they're talking about. Absolutely. I do think now that the algorithm has changed on eBay. And I think because of that, we as eBay sellers need to change with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you again. Anything else to add before I move to Depop, Grail, Facebook, Vestiaire, and Shopify?
No, I think that was pretty good.
So friendly reminder with Depop, okay, they allow you to refresh listings. But your best strategy is to do it every 3 months. With Shopify, is not a marketplace. So with Shopify, the delist and relist is nothing that is going to be improving your visibility. Let's say, there is no way that Shopify is going to be, let's say, ranking somehow your listings, because as you know, you are in charge of the visibility of your own shop and your SEO. And with Grail, it's ideal, okay, that you have a strategy also once every 3 months, because you want to avoid the delist and release could end up in account suspensions, because they do have a way to prevent the abuse of the delist and release. They're not favoring that. In the Facebook Marketplace, friendly reminder, hit that renew button if you can, but also don't forget you have the update feature, or you can do delist and relist. That gives you a little better visibility in that tweaking. I think in order to avoid the penalty on Grade and Facebook Marketplace, use the update feature, or maybe you use the copy. And this is why we're going to have 2 delists with List Perfectly, because you can hit copy, right? You can hit end. You tweak those listings, and then you a copy to the marketplaces, but now there is no way for them to know that it was the same listing. So it's all about tweaking because we're figuring out our own path. So start trying right now, tweak those listings and see what works. And use Delist Relist single button when you absolutely know that listing is well done. It's just for some reason, you're holding on to your value, or it's not the season, or whatever it is. All right. So I think that I wanted to give that friendly reminder to our audience, Trish.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think that it's one of those things that you need to figure out how this works for you, right? And figure out what best practices are for you and your business. And Star saying, that she's been doing this from the beginning and it worked for her, that's great. You need to figure out what works for you and your business. And for me, I'm a sale person, right? I run sales every 3 days all the time. And they work for me. And so you need to figure out, and now I'm going to figure out a way to get Delist Relist into my everyday, job work that I do, because I do think that the writing is on the wall across all the places.
I invite you, everybody, to come and challenge Star Bryson today, okay? So she can explain herself why she was a hardcore, okay, Delist Relist, and why she changed her mind. So come on over. Come on, all right? Challenge her, all right? Bring it on, okay? And she'll explain you why. Definitely, I want to answer Angela, my love, with treating every platform differently will be a way to update per platform. We already did that. The update feature works. You choose which marketplace, which listings. You have absolute control. Simple business and pro, unlimited. Okay, unlimited, no extra fees, as always. Tammy, I love you. You have a question. Oh, wait, what? Okay.
This is for all plans.
Yes. No. Update. No, my love, hear me out. The update feature.
Yeah, I'm talking about update. I don't think I realized.
Yeah, update features on all plans. All right. So Tammy, Juson has the favorite question. Will there eventually be something, she says, showing how long an item has been listing on each side? Still listings button coming soon. Buckle up, Tammy. You ask and we deliver. That's why I built it. That's why it took me a little to build the Delist Relist, because I have to build all those other features that you will need, because I just don't want you to Delist Relist, selecting by date and etc. We will find for you your stale listings, and then you can make an educated decisions on which batches you should be doing. I hope that answers your question, Tammy. What a session. Wow, I'm super entertained. Oh my goodness. Jill says, hopefully the LP button will allow me to delist and release, as I prefer to just list more now in my limited time. We'll have, like I said, 2 ways of doing Delist Relist, okay? The way that we have always now, but also we gotta implement the Delist Relist 1 button, okay, for sure.
And I think Jill, Jill and I kind of have the same philosophy on this. We always thought it was more important to get new things on, right? That eBay responded, or all the platforms really responded to new items going up very specifically. Right. I do not think, and Clara may disagree with me, but if you are a 20 a day lister, right, I don't think that starting to use this can take away from that 20. I think that this has to be an addition. Yeah. And the fact that it's going to be a 1 button
strategy master there, pro tip. Okay, I'm gonna put it. Can you say that again? Because you shouldn't be going black or white. No.
Right. I think this needs to be added to whatever you're already doing. So I think Jill has the right idea. I think you need to continue to add new items, however many you are. And if everybody, I hope all of you or most of you are doing a consistent amount every day, 7 days a week, rather than dumping them all in on Monday or dumping them all in on Friday. I'd rather see you do 10 a day for 7 days than do 100 on Monday. I think all of the algorithms respond better to a consistent a day rather than being dumped in all at once. Right. And so I would continue to do whatever you've been doing and add this in Don't make this, don't take away what you're doing as you're new. Add this in. And then that eBay will reward us. I really believe that. I believe all the algorithms will reward us for that.
Absolutely.
And so I also think that this is going to be a time saver, and that this should not be something it's not going to be time consuming. It's going to be a one and done, and can be working while you're doing something else. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, because it runs on the back end. Absolutely. Absolutely. What a session, everybody. So we're coming to the end of this session. But as always, we're going to be taking a quick break with Trish, because we're going to see you, right, at listing party, where we resellers meet and we learn from each other, an amazing community. I see you, everybody there. We can have a more interactive, because we can share screen and you can have a one-on-one with me, or you can join us on our Facebook group, List Perfectly, or those of you that love Instagram, List Perfectly Inc. It's our amazing page with incredible tips. I go live there, and we're going to be doing big things on Instagram with Trish coming soon, all right? So Trish, any final words of wisdom to our amazing community that is being so dedicated? Look at them, so many. We beat records again of audience. Did you notice?
I did not. I am not. I was trying to just keep up with what was happening. So my words of wisdom are consistent listing, but tweak as you go along. And Delist Relist, I think, has now been proven that we should all be doing it on almost all the platforms, if not all the platforms, but treat them separately and come up with a strategy for each, and don't blanket it across all of them.
Yep. Don't use the same strategy for all marketplaces. Don't toss your money away. My big advice is, do not delist relist to those items that have at least 5 watchers on eBay. Keep in mind also the likes on Poshmark, okay? Because you're destroying, okay? The on Poshmark, the social commerce factor, and on eBay, you're destroying the SEO and the indexation of those listings on Google. That is so crucial because eBay brings a lot of traffic, okay, from Google. So please keep that in mind. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at Listing Party. Amazing session, Trish. Amazing session, everybody. Love you all. Many sales. See you next week. Bye.